So now that the regular 5 units for the Blood Angels Horus Heresy line have been released, I kind of wanted to do a sort of summary type of video where we will rank each and every single one of these action figures on a tier list that is very popular amongst a lot of people. The purpose of this video is that if you are cash strapped and you want to get at least one Blood Angels Horus Heresy action figure, it will help you decide on which one to get. Let's go to the tier review. We started the release of the Blood Angels Horus Heresy line with a bit of a whimper in my opinion with the introduction of these Angels tiers. The reason why I say that is because if you look at the armor here, there's really not too much to see in front. They look like kind of regular infantry with no interesting adornments or anything really fancy about them to make them stand out in terms of the armor. Yes, I do realize the Paladins have a one-of-a-kind design with the specialized angel tier badging. The weapons distribution of these action figures aren't great either. They come with 2 Volkite Serpentas and a grenade launcher. While these Serpentas look fairly decent, I feel as if the grenade launcher could have used a better color distribution because the grenade magazine is just a very large, boring gunmetal color. What's even more disappointing is that this unit was capable of wielding a wide variety of weapons such as an assault cannon, a heavy flamer, a heavy chainsword, rotor cannons, thunder hammers, and power fists. So they had so much potential because there were 4 separate action figures that were released, but only 2 weapons were represented, so I feel as if this was a wasted opportunity to showcase the arsenal that they could have had. I think that because of the lack of weapon variety and the other bland armors, these units belong in the average C tier. Thankfully, after the release of the Angels tiers, we arguably received the strongest release from the Blood Angels Horus Heresy line with the introduction of these Crimson Paladins. I am biased because I am a big fan of these cataphracti armors because there's something about this type of armor that is super ornate looking compared to their Tartaros cousins. When you look at the armor, they're absolutely the most ornate looking with this different golden vine-like designs all throughout. And I think that the integration of the cloth parts really made these Terminators unique looking too. I honestly think that these Paladins are definitely peak design for Horus Heresy action figures. With regard to weapon variety, I think JoyToy gave us a great distribution of different weapons. So you have this Paladin with the Iliastus Assault Cannon, then this Crimson Exemplar with the Spear of Perdition, then you have the rest of the Terminators with their power swords and their various power shields. And I think these weapons truly are very magnificent looking. Next in line we have the Legion Praetor in Tartaros Terminator armor. I'm not sure why GW or JoyToy decided to release this figure in Tartaros armor because the Thousand Sons had a Praetor in cataphracti armor, and I think those action figures in cataphracti armor looks way better than this one. So when we're talking about the armor of this action figure, straight off the bat, I'm going to rip into this helmet, which is the main area that your eyes gravitate towards. There's like this weird, almost like B type of design, but it just looks really weird to me. What is also interesting is that this armor is very smooth and rounded in shape, which contrasts completely with the other Space Marine armors, which is more angular and bulky like the cataphracti. However, some really good things about this action figure is the distribution of the red, black, as well as the gold. There's also plenty of decoration on the armor, especially with the shin areas with these gold vine-like designs, and gratuitous usage of Blood Angels iconography all over the place here. I think the biggest strength of this action figure are the weapons, especially this power sword. I really like how the blade is very katana-like with only one edge. The storm bolter that this action figure uses is also elegant in that the bolters are fused together quite nicely and is rather ornate with this winged skull icon on the casing. However, the weapons being nice cannot save my overall opinion of this action figure, which I think is on the C tier. Now, this Legion Praetor in regular armor looks much better than his Tartaros Terminator brother, but straight off the bat, I'm gonna rip on the helmet. Instead of the helmet being flush, this one actually juts out and makes this area look off-putting. Most Space Marine action figures have this area kind of tapered off, but that being said, that is the only nitpicky that I have to say with the armor because the rest of the armor is very, very good looking. The design patterns that are on this action figure is a perfect example of what a leader type is supposed to look like. This Paragon blade, just like the Crimson Paladins power swords, are some of the best looking swords, if not the best one that is out there. While the blade is a regular straight sword, it does not have that unique taper that the Paladins have. However, it is a solid offering with the usage of Blood Angels chapter symbols for the hilt. Fortunately, this bolt pistol that this action figure comes with needs more work because it just looks like a solid black blob. However, I would have to say overall, this is definitely a redemption from the Tartaros Terminator armor, so I will put this leader on the B tier. Now, closing out with the initial release of the Blood Angels Horus Heresy line is the most recently reviewed Dawnbreaker squad. I think that these action figures are decent looking for elite characters, but I kind of wish that there was more to them that was presented to us. With regard to the armor design, it is decent looking. They have a good amount of ornate decorations in the form of gold outlining. The leg area is truly where the decorations shine, which is the exact opposite of most Warhammer action figures. I really like the wings that are attached to the knee area. However, one big weakness is that this chest area needs some sort of decoration. I think this champion should have some sort of bits and bobs that make him stand out against this regular Dawnbreaker. In contrast, you have the Crimson Paladins that had similar armor designs, but when you look at them, they all have subtle variations. Weapons wise, they are kitted out pretty much the same with this power spear, as well as this grenade discharger. And I really like the unique design of this Warhawk jump pack here. I believe that the weapons that were not featured with these Dawnbreakers were the Equinox power blades, which would have been nice to see. Still, overall, I really like the design of the figures. I'll bet they lack a certain variety, so because of that, I will set them on a B tier. And so I think that the overall release of the Blood Angels Horus Heresy line is pretty solid. I would have to give the overall grade for this release a B. I mean, you can't really win every single one of the releases. Some people are going to like one thing more than the other. That's generally how things are. This action figure in this Tartaros Terminator armor is my least favorite out of all of them, but this is just a personal opinion and personal bias that I have towards Tartaros Terminator armor. I just don't like the look of it. The armor on the Angels Tiers unit is just too plain and boring in my opinion, and there was a huge opportunity that was missed because these units can wield a wide variety of weapons and only 2 were represented. And then with the Dawnbreaker squad, another solid offering, but it needs more variation. But I think that the true standout units for the Blood Angels Horus Heresy release line are the Crimson Paladins. For those cash-strapped people that only want one unit or even one figure, I would recommend you to choose that figure from the Crimson Paladins line. Now, if you are interested in procuring any of these action figures that I featured on this summary review, you can click in the link in the description below, where you will be brought to David Toys. They are, again, the place where I get all of my action figures, and I have yet to experience any sort of issues with them. And for us lovely US residents, there is free shipping that is not subject to the tariffs, which is nice because you get to save more money and keep it in your pocket. And speaking of keeping more money in your pocket, please do not forget to use the code SNS to receive 12% off of your purchase. And with that being said, members of the chapter, thank you for tuning into this video. I appreciate each and every single one of you who watch it. And so, members of the chapter, thank you so much for watching these videos. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.